Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Zebu Nation. We are here at the end of the 2022 Major League Soccer regular season with FC Cincinnati. Take a look at what has happened recently. Now, of course, the last video you saw was our rousing Champions Cup victory over Toluca, 4-0. Outstanding game that sort of crowned us as the best team in North America. I think it secured that position because not only did we win Champions League, but now we've won Champions Cup. So that's just some outstanding victories this season. Now, since that game, we've been playing pretty well. Now, we had a 1-1 draw versus Atlanta United, but Atlanta's a good squad, and as you can see here, Acosta put us up early in the first half, and then Hairston for Atlanta tied it up in the 90th minute. So that's just one of those things that kind of happens. You know, you control the game for 90 minutes. They get one shot on target and even it up. So we should have gotten a second goal at some point. Just couldn't break through their defense. You know, their goalkeeper is still an outstanding player, Kiko. Still very good. And it's hard enough to get one goal on him. You can't expect to get more than one. And we just had a slip up there at the end, and that cost us 2 points. But then we came back, decisive victory over Montreal, another sort of dominating performance. We had 16 shots, 7 on target. They had not a single shot on target. We can take a look at the goals. Akechi had one in the very first minute, and then Acosta followed it up with 2 more, and he had the player of the match. 9.2 rating to go along with those 2 goals. So it's, again, our midfield dominating these games, and that seems to be what we're doing this season. So here we are, free kick from Akechi, 37 seconds into the match, and we're on top. Then 20 minutes later, Akechi to Acosta, and you know where he's going. You know where he's going. He's going right there to his favorite spot. A little bit outside his favorite spot, but still, that was a laser beam of a shot. And then just 13 minutes later, at 33 minutes, here's Acosta again, getting to that spot again. This time scoring with the left foot. So just showing off at that point. So yeah, we cruised to victory after that. Montreal just had no shot. Then we beat Orlando City 1-0. That brings us to our final game of the year versus San Jose. Let's take a look at the competitions. Major League Soccer. We are second place in the Eastern Conference after 33 games. Got 16 wins, 10 draws, 7 losses. Total of 58 points plus 28 goal differential is pretty good. But it's no DC United. They have run away with the conference. They've run away with the entire league this year. 18 wins, 13 draws, only 2 losses on the entire season. Plus 30 goal differential, 67 points. That is fairly outrageous. You know, anytime you get creeping up towards that 70-point mark, that's a pretty good season. So, DC United, they have clinched the league for sure by, 9 points with 1 game to go. I think that's pretty secure. And the Western Conference, well, I guess we can look at the rest of the Eastern Conference. The playoff spots are pretty much set. We're set at second place, I think. No. Chicago can still jump up and snatch second place away from us. So it's not necessarily a meaningless game that we're playing here. It's just that we are in the playoffs. We've made the playoffs. It's just a matter of do we have to go through the wild card round or not. Then comes Philadelphia, Toronto. They also have their spots secured. It's now down to Montreal, the team we just shellacked. They've got the 2 New York teams sort of nipping at their heels here, just 2 points back. So Montreal likewise needs to win or at least draw in their final match so that the New York teams can't catch up to them. But, depending on tiebreakers, that could, be a hairy situation if they don't win their final match. So there's still a little bit of drama at the end of the season in the Eastern Conference. Western Conference, LAFC and Houston are still battling it out for top spot. Portland is still in the conversation at 56 points, only 2 points behind LA, 1 point behind Houston. So a win and then a loss by the other two teams, and Portland could jump up to the top. So there's still plenty of drama in the Western Conference. Seattle and Vancouver has secured their spots, and now it's down to Sporting KC and Colorado, with FC Dallas having an outside chance. So again, a little bit of drama in the Western Conference. Spots could change dramatically, all the way from first place to sixth place. They could have a whole different organization going on here. So still something to play for in the final game of the season. And we got the stats and stuff to look at, but I think we should just go to this last game, play it, and then maybe look at some final stats of the year. So let's do that. Get to the matchups today. DC has beaten Sporting Kansas City 1-0, or at least they're up in the 37th minute. Columbus, Colorado. Houston, Montreal. That's a tough ask for Montreal. Let's see. LA, Chicago. That's another tough ask for LA, who's fighting for their top spot. Atlanta, Real Salt Lake. The two New York teams playing Seattle and Vancouver. New York Red Bull kind of have the best matchup, I think, or the worst matchup. I think Vancouver's actually pretty good this year. Yeah, Vancouver's 8th place this year. So not a lot of easy matchups in this final week of the season for these playoff teams. But here we are. We have San Jose. We are 6-4 favorites. We're in second place. They're in 9th place. So maybe we have the easiest matchup. Last 6 games, we've won 4, 1 draw, and San Jose has won 1 of the last 6. We have Richie Salvador out. They've got 3 players out to injury. So they might be a little bit weak this game. We'll see. We are playing at Avaya Stadium in San Jose, California. 10,700 tickets sold out of 27,000 capacity. So they've not a raucous turnout here for the final game of the season. But still, it's an away game, so we got to, mind our P's and Q's here. Playing a little bit of some reserves today, trying to get people fit for the playoffs. We've got Hembit, White, Smith, Stevenson, Richards, Blackman, and Conroy on the bench. So a bit of a rotated bench, and as you can see, a lot of guys lacking match sharpness. We're trying to use this final game to maybe get some match sharpness for some of these guys, just in case they're needed in the playoffs. So maybe we're not taking this game as seriously as we should with second place on the line, but we've got a deep squad. We've counted on these guys in the past, and we're going to continue to count on our reserves. So we do have Juve in goal, Nuhu, Vargas, Cobian, and Torres. So it's definitely a reshuffled defensive line. Only starter there, or starter type guy, is Nuhu. We've got Fernando Arce Jr. at defensive midfield. Butcher making a comeback from injury. One of our big signings earlier in the year. Big trade. Only started twice this year, so that's a real waste of a trade this year. But anyway, our other big signee, Carlton, is on the left wing. Crispum, Sonora, and Hitman up top. I kind of think Sonora shouldn't be playing, but he is. Oversight on my part. Anyway, let's get to the pep talk. Opposition instructions. Let's see. They've got Cesar, Real, Gabriel, Jungwirth, captain in defense. Feldman, Kashvili, Liblian, Rivero, Latif Blessing, Erickson, and Cross. So they've got, most of their starters in there. Erickson, leading goal scorer on the season. Can we see that here? Or no? No, it's the other screen. Anyway, and Rivero is their leading assist man from the midfield. So maybe we should, cover a lot of these guys here. Yeah, their midfield is pretty good. So we should definitely watch those guys. All right. Let's get to the tunnel talk. You've come into this one in good form while your opponents are not. Yes, send the assistant. That's always our answer to that question, is send the assistant. Bit empty in the stands. 10,000 people short, you can kind of tell. So we'll see how we play. See how this sort of ragtag group works together. A lot of these guys coming back from injuries and extended periods on the bench. You know, Carlton and Butcher, definitely the top two we need to get fit. And here's Carlton with the ball. Diving, he's tackled. Torres moving way up from defense. Butcher back to Carlton. Carlton with the shot, and he somehow places one and scores over Cesar. That was an interesting goal. 4th goal of the season. Assist from Butcher. So those are the two guys we wanted, and they got involved. Torres saves it to Butcher. I mean, this isn't like what you would call a great assist or anything. He just passed it to him, and he turns and shoots it from 35 yards out. That's fine, I guess. I think that was a stoppable shot. That was maybe more on the keeper, but still, Carlton placed it. I mean, he placed it in a very difficult spot, and there we go. This kind of talent we want to see from our 22-year-old phenom. Here's Eriksson now sending one in. Latif getting swarmed defensively. He's got to drop it back to Rivero. Leblian with the shot goes wide. I don't know anything about that guy. Jungworth, looks like San Jose is turning up the pressure a little bit. Nuhu wins it to Carlton. He's going to settle it down, perhaps. Take off and run with it. He likes to run with the ball. He likes to get tackled. But there's Butcher cleaning up the mess again. There, gets it to the real playmaker, Sonora. He's penned in there. All right, let's have some patience. Let's work it through. Arce Jr. is wide open. He's going to take a shot. Not exactly the patience I was looking for, but if they're going to leave him open, I guess he's going to take it. I'd rather see him work that out wide to Carlton. But anyway, highlights are coming fast and furious. Latif, trying to make something happen, has to drop it back. Gabriel sends it forward to Vaco. He's a very dangerous character. Nice defense by Kobian. Super draft pick has been playing well this season. There's just no way around it. He has played very well this season. I don't like that Carlton doesn't get forward more. I should probably put him on attack so that he does get forward. Latif playing well in the midfield. Trying to start the counterattack. Get it to Vaco. Vaco's going to dribble right through our defense. Take the shot. Not a great shot, but I wasn't real happy with that defense. I'm going to move Sonora back to support, and Carlton will go on the attack. I'd rather have him going forward than sort of dribbling around the way he's doing right now. Let's see. We got Butcher on center mid. Segundo, yeah, I guess everything else is okay. So there we go. Just a little bit of tactical tweaks right there. We'll see if we can do something. Kobian, another nice header off the back line. Vaco, though, has. It's kind of the last guy we want. We don't want him or Latif with the ball. And got to keep a lid on Eriksson as well. He's 32 years old now, but he still looks pretty good. Here we go. Nuhu to Carlton. Told him to get forward, get involved in the attack, and there he goes. Hitman, though, just turns and fires. Team instructions. Let's work the ball in the box. And then if we're going to do that, we might as well change Hitman. Just making little tweaks here and there. You know, no big structural changes. Here we go. Sonora, corner, sends one in. Not a great kick, but Kobian is there again. He's vying to be man of the match here. Good centering pass to Ars Jr. Nope. Can't get it on target. You know, speaking of tactics, I read a little article by Cleon, T.M. Busquets blog, and he had an interesting comparison between the center midfielder and roaming playmaker. Sort of made me think about our tactics a little bit. Like right now we have Butcher playing center mid because that's kind of what he's best at. I mean, he's better as a defensive midfielder. Here we go, Rivero. Eriksson wins the header. Oh, and he gets it back. Eriksson and Gabriel just playing keep away there off the crossbar. Eriksson heads it to Gabriel, who heads it off the bar. Back to Eriksson. Yeah. A little bit of volleyball there, and they even it up just before half. Always hate to see that. But yeah, he did a sort of deep dive into the roaming playmaker, and I think our roaming playmaker is pretty good. You know, obviously he's been the league MVP 2 years in a row. But it has got me thinking about his role and whether we want him to be playing roaming playmaker, I'm not sure. Because the way, like the sort of, what the article sort of bore out was that, you know, your team will focus its play through the roaming playmaker. Kind of like in the way they might with a target man. Right? Like, if you set your guy to target man, your teammates will look for him and send him the ball. It's kind of the same thing with the roaming playmaker. So your roaming playmaker is going to get the ball. He's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to, you know, try to facilitate the game. But that can kind of leave some other players out high and dry, maybe not playing to their strengths so much. You know, if you focus everything too much through one player, it can sort of stifle some of your other guys. Here's Carlton now trying to get to the spot. He does. Cesar is there, though. He was waiting for that shot. So, you know, a guy like Carlton maybe wouldn't make that kind of play because he wouldn't have the ball, right? It would be at the feet of our roaming playmaker, and he would be looking. So, you know, we have to think about that. As Akechi gets older, oh, there's a free kick. A Liblian. First goal of the season, of course. Who is this guy? 24 years old. Valued at $1 million. Free kick taking is his strength. That's for sure. Where is he? He's a super draft kid from the 2020 super draft. So that's about the time that these guys come into their own. 2 years after they're drafted. He's 24 years old now. He's ready to start contributing, and he gets his first goal ever in MLS. Good. Hooray. Happy for you. All right. Let's watch it again. I mean, Diouf was there. He just didn't quite stop it, unfortunately. So now we're down 2-1. Hang on. This is, like, not acceptable. Okay. Let's make some tactical changes. We'll go a little, open it up a little bit. Here we go. Crispum. He sends one in. He can't score. Nobody there for the rebound. That would have been a nice way to even it up, to come back with a free kick of our own. Almost a steal, but the ball makes its way to Vaco. Okay, so let's move Hitman back to advance forward. Can maybe chase down some of those deep balls. Let's do some yelling. Let's show some passion. All right, let's go. Should encourage our players to play short passing play. No, that hasn't worked. Cross needs to be closed down on. I don't know. Who's playing poorly? Hitman's playing poorly. Sonora's playing poorly. Here we go. 74 minutes. Vargas to Crispum. Butcher's going to make a little run. Drops it back to Torres. Forward to Sonora. He sends one in. Back post to Carlton, and he scores. You know, Sonora, the playmaker yet again. He's been injured, but when he's in there, he can team up with just about anybody on the roster. I mean, look at that. He bends that one back to Carlton. Left-footed finish. There we go. We get the draw. I think draw is what we need minimum. Let's see. Arsman's a little tired. He's got a yellow card. We don't really have a lot of options in the midfield, unfortunately. We could bring Kobian up to defensive midfielder. Have him play anchorman, and then we can bring Richards in, central defense. That's not a great idea, but it's sort of what we can do at the moment. A lot of our midfielders, are a little tired, a little injured, and we're thin on midfielders this year anyway. So we're sort of going with what we can go with. 79 minutes, Latif all alone. Agudelo is in now. I didn't see that substitution, but he's always a dangerous character. Latif getting closed down on. San Jose building up to something here. There's a turnover midfield. Crispum is there. He's going to move forward. Hitman should go forward. That would be nice. He gets it to him. Hitman can't score. Can't get the rebound. He's not playing well. Oof. Our only guy on the bench we got is Hembut and White. Hembut. He has not played all season long. I don't know that now's the time to put him in there. Is there anybody else worth subbing in or out? I don't think so. Maybe White for Crispum. But everybody looks composed and motivated and all that stuff. So let's leave him in there. 82 minutes. Let's just encourage, perhaps. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. 87 minutes. Let's get a last goal. Okay, Torres is a little tired. So we can bring Blackman in. That's fine. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Let's see if Blackman can come in and make a play from that fullback position. 2 minutes to go. Minute to go. 30 seconds. 30 seconds overdue. Crispum bangs one forward for Hitman. He cannot beat the defense. And this will probably be it. Jungwirth. So we're going to get a draw. Let's see. Let's hope that doesn't cost us second place. Hand over the assistant. Get out of there. What did he say? I don't know. He demotivated our goalkeeper, whatever he said. Okay. Competitions. We finished 4th place in the Supporters' Shield. So there we go. 2nd place. We have qualified for the next round of the playoffs. There we go. So Chicago also got a draw, looks like. Right? We were at 58. They were at 56. Now we each have a point more. So that goes to show that, yes, a draw. All right. So I guess we can take a look at some of the stats this season. See how we finished. Team stats. Look at that. Cincinnati, first place in goals scored. 34 matches, scored 57 goals. 3 goals off of corners. I guess we were previously 2nd place. Just beat out Houston with 56 goals. Vancouver, LA, Seattle, New York City, Philadelphia, DC United, 8th place in goals, but they just dominated the league. Most headers. So this is a good defensive indicator here. When you can win a lot of headers, it's usually a defensive indicator. We are not on the list. Average possession, 8th place. I mean, that's higher than I guess we usually finish in the league, so I guess that's good. It's at least a sign that we were able to do a little bit more this year, able to have a little bit better cohesiveness on offense, at least. Most tackles won, 2nd in the league, so we got back up there after we started a little slow this year in tackles. 90% tackle ratio 1, so that's pretty good. New York on top, 91%. A lot of tackling going on this season. We had 542 tackles, 424 fouls, 44 yellow cards. So pretty aggressive, but that's kind of our style. Least conceded, DC United. Oh, man. 13 goals allowed in 33 matches. Like, come on. That is pretty ridiculous. That's why they won the league right there. Portland next with 21 goals, which is still pretty good. And we're tied with 3rd with Chicago with 29 goals in 34 games, which is, respectable, but just nowhere near DC United. That is crazy. Most shutouts, of course, DC United. 23 shutouts in 33 matches. Wow. That's unbelievable. Portland with 19 is still really good in 33 matches. We finished 4th, tied with Colorado, 15 shutouts. I still say 15 shutouts is pretty good. Like, that's nearly half your games are shutouts. That's still very, very acceptable. Most fouls, we're not on the list, so that's good. A lot of tackling, not a lot of fouling. That's what you want to see. Passes completed, 5th in the league, 80% of our passes completed. So again, that teamwork that we wanted to foster early in the year, I think it paid off with our possession, and our passing is much improved this season over previous seasons. Most crosses completed, not on the list. We definitely dialed back the crossing this year. So it's reasonable that we wouldn't be on this list. Vancouver, Colorado, Minnesota up top with 16%. And then hitting the target, yeah, this is a problem this year. I mean, we still scored the most goals in the league, so you can't say it's a problem. It's just an indicator that I like to see us having a higher shot percentage than this. Seattle number 1 at 47%. DC's up there in 5th with 45%. Let's take a look at DC United. Yeah, Keaton Parks as their designated player. What kind of team do they have? What's their registration look like? Looks like they've got a small team. 25, it's not bad. Maximum team salary of 5.4. They're spending 4.8. When did the salary cap get so high? Have I been missing something? I don't recall the salary cap being 5.4 million. Is that even correct? Let's take a look at that. Registration. I guess it's correct. Finances. Hello, finances. Thank you. League specific. Yeah, 5.4. I guess I just not been paying attention. Been taking it for granted, the salary cap. I mean, it should go up every year. That's to be expected. I guess I just didn't realize it had reached that point. So DC United is still well below that. They're still around 600,000 under the cap. So they could still bring in more players if they wanted to. Juseli's injured. David Kiki, 28 years old, first team, valued at $3.1 million. Playing well. Keaton Parks again. We'll take a look at him just for fun. 25-year-old American, valued at $7 million. Very good player. So yeah, DC United. They're going to be tough to beat. definitely going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. We obviously had very little chance of beating them. Oh, look at that. They got Jordan Morris is on the team as well. Jesse Gonzalez at goal. Horvath. I mean, they got Jesse Gonzalez and Ethan Horvath in goal. It seems a bit excessive, especially with Horvath being a designated player, but what are you going to do? Anyway, it's going to be tough to beat these guys, but we're not going to have to face them for at least a round. And maybe they'll get upset, and then we'll have our clean path to the MLS Cup. But that will be coming up next time. For now, we'll wait to find our pairing because we got to wait for the wild card round to finish out. Anyway, we're going to end it here on the verge of the playoffs and come back for the Eastern Conference semifinals. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.